And welcome back to West Coast Weekend. I am fortunately still ZoeVermilion, and I am still joined by Ecdycis, whose voice you may have recognized from our last game. How you doing, Ek?
Doing good. It's good to be on, I guess, here. It's fun event so far. I've been enjoying a lot of the runs. But yeah, some Sonal too. We have a good time. Before we begin, do you have anything you need to say, or should I just hop right on in and all that jazz?
I was just gonna kind of ask you similar things that I was asking Teddy, which was like, why do you speedrun Silent Hill 2?
I love this game as a kid. Essentially, it became one of my favorite games. One of the first games I learned how to it's one of my first 10 games I learned how to speedrun. So at this point, it's a reliable one. I've been pushing this game a lot in many different ways. I've been trying to, at least.
Yeah, cool. I know like horror games are definitely kind of your thing.
Oh yeah, so I run a lot of horror games. For anyone who doesn't know who I am, I run 92 different horror games or horror adjacent games. I just like speedrunning horror games. I think they're cool. And also, before I begin, because I'm gonna have to do a certain manipulation to kind of get it going now, because it's gonna be much faster. If any of you are fans of a couple of years back, I think actually almost 2 years ago, Punchy did a run of Silent Hill 2 at HEDQ 2019, and you may know is that run being the game saved, the whole meme. We'll be going back into that, but first things first, you may see I have a head up here. Well, behind my head is actually the game saved sign, because they let me keep it, and I'm actually really happy that they let me keep that. You'll learn more about that, what it means later, but for right now, yeah. Let's get into the game. I'm going to be exiting first, though, because we're doing something called RNG manipulation. So I'm going to be doing a clean boot of the game, and then I'll be instantly going on into it. It's very particular on the way this goes, but I'll kind of explain what we do and why it works. Running this game in general is kind of a pain because of the amount of pre-game setup you have to do before every single run, but that's kind of the sense. Anyway, once it goes in, feel free to start time. I'll say go now. Whenever the timer's all good, I can skip this cutscene, essentially. Because I normally say time, but I have to, like, mash. Anyway, I think we're probably good, so I'm just gonna assume. Let's go. So, a few things with this game. For one, we're going to be doing a few tricks, because I am on the PC port of the game, which came out alongside with the actual game when it came out. With the PC port, though, it's going to be a little bit funky, mainly because they added a quick save feature, and with quick saving, it's going to allow me to break the game in methods that you weren't supposed to. Now, the game itself isn't ported badly or anything, it's just Konami kind of wanted them to add in this quick, last-minute quick save. So, because they didn't have a lot of time to test this, a few of the things in the game just kind of react a bit differently than you would imagine. So it's going to work nicely for us because we're going to be able to go much faster, but just keep that in mind when you're wondering why. And yeah, so we're seeing games saved there for a while. For the first thing, games saved is going to allow me to regenerate all of James's stamina. Most people when they run, eventually they get tired and they stop. However, whenever there's text on the screen like game saved, James is going to be a marathon man. He will always be moving, he'll always be going. So it's very important that I push game save as much as possible. And since this is actually the first ever showing of hard mode, we're actually going to be seeing some additional, strategies that you don't normally get to see in many of the other things. So let's keep moving forward for right now. The first few minutes of this game is going to be just kind of running through the town. I'm going to be making your way through, making your way to the city. I'll be getting a nice trick here in a moment, but for right now, we're just going to be kind of bolting on through. So, for anyone wondering, what does hard mode do? What does it add? Well, I've upped the difficulty of both the fighting in the game, so all the action, and the puzzles. So the puzzles will be slightly different than normal, which is kind of counterintuitive because I'm actually going to be, for some of the puzzles, going to be using RNG manipulation, which I talked about in the beginning. Going more into that, RNG manipulation, when you start the game on a certain seed or a certain frame, it will dictate all the answers in the game for every puzzle that has, numerical values. So, once we get to the clock, which will be randomized, I'm going to look at the number on that, and then I'll be able to tell you every single number in the game. I have a chart of numbers next to me. I use this chart whenever I run this game, and then we study it at one point, so I can know. Very often, I tend to get around seed 23. I don't know why, I'm very consistent on that. But we'll probably get, I'm guessing 18. That's actually really good if I get 18. Anyway, there's no reason to go back. I'm going to look for Mary. This is a fun strat where we're abusing text. So this is going to be hanging here for a while. Game save, again, kind of puts it all into a stasis. So with the stasis, certain things that come late... Thank you, James. Certain things that come later are not going to be able to move the way they're going to, you know, supposed to move. This is going to stop everything in the game from loading when I kind of approach it. Now, main things kind of like the road and the rails, those are kind of innately there. Kind of going more into it, though, I'm going to be removing extra things like cars, enemies, items, and more importantly, loading triggers. There's going to be a point in the game where normally James will see a bit of blood and go like, hey, wait a minute, that's blood. Blood is weird, isn't it? So instead of freaking out over the blood, what we're going to do is just run past it like a standard, I guess, midday jog. And also, I love the way James runs. He's just swaying his hips the entire time. Look at him. Look at him go. See, there's the blood, and we just run past it. I'm actually going to reload the game in the moment. If you don't believe me that I'm deloading the game, I can show you a very cool trick. I can show you a very interesting thing. Also, I do have chat open, so I'm glad people seem to be enjoying my my weird mustache that I have. I just kind of forgot to shave it, admittedly.
It's 10 out of 10.
Thank you. Anyway, there's a, you know, there's like a black mark. That's not a black mark. It's actually a card we gotta load in. So, there we go. As well, we're gonna make our way to the end here because this is going to bring us to a key, and this is gonna be the first, I guess, leading to the first area of the game. Town Hall is separated by these like pseudo dungeons or buildings or levels, whatever you want to call them. You know, it really depends. But the first one's going to be the apartments. Now, for a lot of people who play this game, I know when I play this game, I almost quit playing because I was in the apartments and got bored. I went back to it afterward because, people encouraged me, like, hey, no, keep playing it. And I was like, all right, fine. And then I fell in love with this game. I just want to mention, though, for a lot of people who play this game, the apartments is really one of those levels that's kind of rough. But, yeah. Going into this as well, with hard mode, since the fights are going to be harder, I'm going to have to kind of change up the routing a little bit. Normally what you would be doing is you would need to, you know, only gather a set amount of ammo, and any percent you don't get ammo, you just beat the bosses innately because they're really low in health. This way, it's going to be much, much tougher. We're not going to be dealing with our usual bosses. Also, for safety, I'm grabbing the health drink because I've been dying a lot on a certain boss in this game because I keep getting hit. So this way, we will be good to go. Anyway, now you can kind of see the enemies are here. They're kind of back in action. We're going to be doing a few things here. One, we need the light because I can't see anything. This game actually is important to have the light. If you don't, you won't be able to pick things up because it'll be too dark and James can't see with his precious eyes. Two, enemies are actually attracted to light, so you're going to see me very often just not having the light on. Now, another fun fact, you bet you're wondering, hey, why are you still game saving inside? Do you need to do that? Yes. Hard mode adds in a new mechanic called tripping. It's like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but nobody wanted it, but it happened. So, random tripping doesn't happen, don't mind you that. But what can happen instead is if I just kind of walk into a wall at full speed and try to open a door, I'll show it off in the next like little stair hallway. James will kind of bump into it, and that bump isn't good to have. So, it happens. Watch, here I'll kind of show the example of it, hopefully. Yep, just like that. So by game saving, I'll actually be able to remove that. Speaking of game saving and doing things, check this out. I'm going to skip the scream. Normally there's a scream there, it's just to scare you, but I can just skip and then we're much, much better. As well, I actually deloaded the game, so I'm going to aim the gun and it reloads them in the back. You can see Pyramid Head turned red, the red pyramid thing. So we're going to get to our first major puzzle of the game. It's always the same answer, which is not going to be a big issue. The only issue is going to be the RNG starting place. It's going to be the clock puzzle. First things first, though, we're going to be grabbing the clock key. So, you know, we have to go get that. But while we're getting that, we're going to learn about what kind of seed we're on, what's going to happen. And to kind of, I guess, freak out chat, what I'm going to do is once we know what we have, I will predict every single puzzle in the game to show you that RNG manipulation does indeed work. Let's see. I think the numbers are going to be... I'm calling 956. I'm hoping we get 956. Knowing me, it's gonna be like a 2. So ideally, things closer to 9 are better. Things closer to 2 are bad because it's always the same answer. I got a, that looks like a 736. I hope I got that right. I think I did. Yeah, I did. Cool. So that looked about 736. Just keep that in mind. We have a 736. I'm saying random numbers right now. I'll come to fruition later. But now begins the area of ammo management. I'm going to be picking up bullets because we're going to need a lot of bullets. The first boss of the game is a bullet sponge. There's 2 ways of dealing with him. You can either run away for 5 minutes or you can fight him. Fighting him is going to be much faster in this case. Anyway, Pyramid Head's going to be doing some strange things. Just don't worry about him. We're on seed number 14 because we have a 736. There's going to be a puzzle of 2 boxes. They're going to be 6676 and 7147 respectively. One block will be that one block will be the other one. After that, I'll have a box of the head. I'll be going sideways and down. I will have 6 ropes. I'll pull the correct one, which will be number 6, or the bottom left one. And we'll have a briefcase with the word luck. Just remember that. All these things will come true if I did this right. If I didn't, you have permission to laugh at me. Anyway, let's go. If you're wondering why we use that cutscene as a point in order to do this, normally this game runs on an in-game timer. So while there is the GDQ timer that I think is beneath, like right underneath me on the screen, that timer is a real timer. So that timer is going to be running in actual time. So if I count to 10, that will also count to 10. However, the sound hole timer is not the same. Anytime I go through a door, it doesn't count the loading. It doesn't count cutscenes. So it will pause. If I go count to 10 and then the cutscene plays, I have to stop counting, essentially. Also, my name is Ecdycis. A lot of people get it wrong. It's okay. Ek works. Eked. Really, as long as you try your best, I don't mind. So, if you're wondering, this is actually a recent development with the RNG manipulation. I actually found out when I was streaming this game doing a run, some guy came into the stream named Sonal2Luck, and he guessed my RNG while I was playing the game. And I was kind of absolutely shocked because he guessed a 4-numbered code that is entirely random. Imagine someone guessing in front of you 4 random numbers and being right, when no one has ever been right on that.
It's like guessing your PIN number.
Pretty much. I was kind of terrified. Like, I actually started a wave of RNG manipulation for this game, and now the game's really tight because you don't have to worry all that much about this. Also, another fun trick you can do is you can actually hit game save during this, and it'll kind of let you move while it's kind of deloading, which is nice. There we go. Nice. So the current puzzle we're trying to do is we are trying to get coins because we need coins to open a box. These are going to be in various locations. I usually get spat on here, by the way. These guys aren't very nice. Especially on hard mode. They're really aggressive, they attack really far, and they're very mean. But we need to do a few things here in order to actually kind of get to the next area. If you try opening the door to the other side of the apartment, it'll say, door's locked, and that's bad. So what we're going to have to do instead is we have to meet the magical guy who can open the door somehow. As well, we're going to open, I guess, this case of bullets to get more bullets, because, again, we need more bullets. And anyway, here's the best part of the game. It's Eddie's butt. You know how we all love it. I'm not going to lie, everyone. That was me after Thanksgiving. Anyway, we need to talk to Eddie because talking to him unlocks the door for some reason. Assuming... Also, yes, I can see chat. I don't know what the etiquette exactly is of me reading it entirely. I know during main show events I can kind of interact pretty nicely on the show, but during runs I'm never quite sure. Anyway, though, for some reason Eddie actually allows you to unlock this door. I don't know why. You can't unlock it unless you have Eddie. So, it's very important. Alright. Also, we're doing a lot of safety strats, a lot of health. Here we go. Weirdly enough, the apartments are very short when you play this as a speedrun. Normally you are exploring every single room, but if you know where you're going, it's like 2 rooms in total. It's very, very short. Let's see. There's the bullets. Perfect. Also, we got all our coins now. We got everything we need. Here we go. Let us go to the box now. So, this box does have a set answer. This is actually a puzzle. The way I remember it is gold 5, silver 2, like my league rank, and then I end up putting the snake in 4. I'm going to be hitting pause in between those because that is going to allow me to kind of go to the menu a bit quicker. There's like a little load in between that you normally can't move. However, by pausing the game, you essentially remove it. However, you can do actions during that load, so it's kind of odd. Anyway, health kit, because I really do not want to die during one of the bosses. This boss I'm not that worried about. It's another boss I'm worried about. Speaking of bosses, a lot of people when they play this game, they are absolutely terrified of the man known as Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head is pretty much the representation of James's suffering and punishment, meaning he scares a lot of people because big red triangle man with the big sword is kind of scary, especially given he can one-shot you. He's probably one of the deadliest enemies in the game on any difficulty. He can do it on any percent, which is like, you can't die to anything else. Luckily we have plenty of saves here, but here's the fight. Here's Eddie, our Pyramid Head. We're gonna run into him. I'm gonna count to 5, or 4. 1. So I want to pump him full of 45 bullets. By walking into him, he never attacks me. He's kind of in that range where he's trying to approach me, but at the same time, I'm going to be able to beat him. I'm on 3. After 4, I'm going to count to 5. So watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect fight. He's dead. It's not Eddie. I've messed up the name. Anyway, the reason why this works, like I mentioned, is he doesn't actually get in the position to do his attacks. Normally, he will try to either hit you from underneath or he'll try to overhead you. However, by just walking into him, he never gets around. If you're wondering, I can actually do that fight with only a plank using the same thing. It requires 67 hits with a wooden plank to beat him to death. You can do the same thing. It's funny just watching James just hit him with a stick. It's actually kind of funny. It's one of my favorite things to do. I actually routed this game for melee plank only, and it's really silly, and I love it. Alright, now we're back outside. We don't need the health kit over there. I've grabbed plenty already. We're doing good. But now I'm going to get a run to, well, I guess the bowling alley. We kind of get more of the cast of characters as we play. You'll be seeing, like, Laura, you'll be seeing the next character. This is essentially the way to kind of just introduce you to the rest of the cast. This game does not have a big cast, but you kind of meet everything after the apartments, which is why I tell people to keep playing the game after the apartments. Also, here's a fun glitch if you save the game. Hey, look, it's the park. Mary, are you... Oh, the game broke. If you quick save, it can just break many things, and it's very funny. I'll be showing you one of my favorite hard mode exclusive glitches later of that, too. If you're wondering that boss, by the way, normally most people end up running around him because Pyramid Head does actually have an invulnerability if you shoot him wrong. If he's attacking and you don't hear the dings, you don't hear the doink, doink, you don't hear those, it's going to be pretty rough. Also, given that I think my estimate should be decently generous, I think, and I do keep hearing it be asked, if GDQ gives me permission for this, I'll grab it. We'll use it. If I do not have permission, I'll not do it, but if GDQ gives me the okay, I will show it, because this is, after all, a marathon showing, and we do that. I think it all depends on how we perform in the run. So if you perform good, you will see the dog ending. I'll just say that much. I know a lot of people love the dog. If you don't know what it is, do it. If I have permission, I will. If I have permission, okay. We're not behind on estimate or anything like that, or?
Do it.
Okay. I'll do it after the run's done, and I'll just reload this. I'll make a save during the run. Also, you may have noticed I picked up a steel pipe. I currently have no melee weapons. I need one later, or else I'll soft lock the game. They weren't actually expecting me to not get the plank, so. Also, I think people may be surprised on the boss not having that much, you know, being able to kill the boss by shooting. They weren't expecting you to fight the boss nearly as well, because in most cases you have to be a bit more, you know, if you're afraid of the boss, you're not going to be shooting it or attacking with the plank. However, you can just cheese it by beating him to death. Also, here's Eddie eating pizza. He went from throwing up to eating pizza, you know.
In the apartment building?
I can relate to him.
Yeah, I remember. But
We all love this scene, and I think I will never stop enjoying it. If you're wondering what's this game about, let me show you. Let me show you what this game's all about. Hill jams, pizza, bowling, and yeah, that pretty much summarizes Donald too. And I guess game saved.
Wait, come back! Eddie, let's go after her.
huh? Laura? Why?
Laura, is that her name?
That's what she said.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
She said she was fine by herself. She said a fatso like me would just slow her down.
Forget you.
By the way, I have many theories with Eddie. Namely, he's not actually eating the pizza. He's kind of just putting the pizza to his face. Kind of like, you know, like how you made, like, dolls or action figures eat when you're a kid, or you just kind of put it in your mouth and you make noises. That's kind of what Eddie's doing there. By the way, Eddie has his pizza and he'll be fine for now. I bet he won't cause any trouble later. Anyway, back to game saving. My phone just fell on the ground. Oh.
Rip phone.
Someone called me. All I get these days are spam calls, and it made me sad because they hit my foot. Oh well. There goes that. Alright, so back into the game. Enjoying one of my favorite songs in the game. You'll be hearing it for all of 2 rooms. As well, this is an extra health kit I grabbed because I will die if I don't grab that. Okay. Time for probably one of the best levels in the game now, the hospital. This is actually why I grabbed so much health. Normally, I do not grab that much health during, you know, world record attempts for this game. I actually did get the new world record in hard mode right before the event, so I'm actually kind of glad I got this in now because it gave me motivation to get the new world record. I chopped it off by 1.5 minutes, and it was actually really good for the most part. But the thing is, there's gonna be some parts later that will really be decisive on kind of how it works. Like, this game, no matter how good I'm doing, I never call it out. Like, I never go like, oh yeah, this is such a good run. It's never a good run until the ending. I'm just gonna point that out right now. I'll avoid spoiling things, because we have a lot of fun goodies still. However, with this game, there's just such an endgame, like, pump that it's hard. Anyway, I do a little loop-de-loop to avoid getting slapped. It usually works. Sometimes she'll go for it, though. Getting hit doesn't actually matter. It just slows me down. If you're wondering why, it's because getting hit will reduce my health, right? That's okay. At one point, I'm going to be reduced to 1 health because I'm going to get slapped really hard by Pyramid Head. So anything I actually eat, as long as I don't die, is fine. Also, back to bullet routing. This will be actually the last of the bullet routing in the game, really. Oh, almost the last of the bullet routing. Let's be safe anyway. So normally that room has numbers. I'm avoiding those because, as I mentioned earlier, it's going to be 6676 and 7147 on the 2 puzzles. The likelihood of me blind guessing that is very, very low. Pretty much. Also, that's always the same on hard mode. It is 1328. I think it's like it's a weird T. Let's make a T and you have it. But going back to the numbers, I've mentioned this a lot. Imagine 4 digits, and you have 9,999, like, you know, that many numbers that you can have. You essentially have that many permutations of number. That being said, it's not very likely I can randomly guess this. On radar one more time. 6676 and 7147 will be the 2 numbers. Let's see if I got it. Also, I didn't get hit by that nurse, and I healed. So we're gonna run through this hallway. Wow, I didn't need this health. Wait a minute, they didn't hit me. They always hit. Oh my god. Can I say that's never happened before in a good way?
I was about to say, is that a good that's never happened before? I think it still counts, though. So mark your bingo cards. All right, we're back. Yeah, do you want to explain what happened, Deck?
My room blacked out. Like, I was just sitting here about to talk about stuff in my room. monitors went black, my light went black, my computer went black, everything in my room pretty much blacked out for like 30 seconds.
Well, on the bright side, at least your game saved.
Yeah, this game, it did. This game is incredibly safe, so.
Also, this is why we don't have good "that's never happened before" moments. Because then stuff like this happens.
I can't really say that's never happened before, because I have actually had blackouts in my room happen. Not often, mind you, but they have happened. Anyway.
I just feel it was karma for the good that's never happened.
Definitely. Anyway, let's continue. The beauty of this game is I can just go right back into it.
It's perfect.
Okay. Now, the numbers are hopefully not changed. 6676, so, well, I said 6676, like I was right, and 7147.
Also, chat's asking, did you pick up your phone?
My phone, I got my phone. I picked it up the moment I had to call Discord. Or I had to call in for the... just to let them know I was okay. Okay. We're back in action now. I'm gonna wonder after the stream what happened to my room. Anyway, it was actually kind of odd, because I guess, you know, it is kind of fitting for Silent Hill, a game like this in the horror block. Anyway, we're now going on our way to the second boss fight of the game. The, the hospital boss fight. This boss fight's the one I kept dying in, which I made a deal with my community that if I died during GDQ, I will, essentially be losing a bet. So let's hope I don't die right now. Also, I'm saving the game because just in case. So, why is this boss so hard? I have very little ammo to kill 3 of these hanging beds. This is Flesh Lips. It is a pretty cool boss, and the way it works is they are floating feet, and in order to win, you must defeat them. I only use that because I can use the word defeat in a pun about beating feet. I use the shotgun because it hits the hardest. Ideally, you want to be careful. I hope I reloaded. I'm reloaded, cool. This guy is kind of the mean one. Normally, they'll try to swing and grab your feet. You want to run out of the way. They die in anywhere from 5 to 6 shots, depending on proximity. I can actually do this using a lamp plank as well, and it's really fun. Should be dead. And now we have one more that's going to be twice as strong, twice as fast. Ideally, though, it won't be an issue, because we're going to do the same strat. Pop. You guys look at this one. And then you get out of the way. Then get back in. And... dead? Yep. Perfect fight. And that was much, much better. That was much better for what we wanted to do. Alright, we no longer need shotgun ammo. So, big cheers to that. Now we're in the Otherworld Hospital. This is going to be the hospital where... I guess my room blacked out, and now we're in the Otherworld. I should have made my room all nice and, like, scary and red when I came back. Because then I could have made a joke about going to the Otherworld, and it could have been meta. However, I'll be honest. If you look at the plank-only run, I'll give you a hint. It was me. But I got hit, that's fine. We're now going through a pretty short area of the game, actually. This is, again, one of those areas that they expect you to look through a lot more than you would expect. However, if you know what you're doing, it's very just bolt to this room, go to that room, and it's very, very quick. Here we go. We're going to be making our way downstairs to find a special friend. But my room blacked out when I was on a puzzle box. So that's the funny part. If it blacked out on the fight, that would have been hilarious, though, because then it would have been like, oh, you messed up the fight. Which, I get it. Anyway, here's Maria. Maria is going to be accompanying us for a little bit. She's our friend now. She actually does have a mechanic where if she gets hit too much, it's bad. Also, you may be again wondering, why am I game saving inside? Do remember, I will actually bonk on these stair walls if I do not game save. So it's very important to keep my speed up that I keep saving all the way inside. Funny enough, by the way, we get like something like 2,000 saves on hard mode. Like other categories, they may vary, like you get a little bit less because you don't need to save as much. This category, yeah, you're saving a lot. You're saving a lot in this category. So keep that in mind. And for a lot of people, actually, I know when I played this game on hard mode for the first time, what I did was I actually quit. My first time I did this in hard mode, I could not beat it. If you're wondering why, well, there is going to be the hardest section of the game coming up, and I feel like it is indeed the hardest section. I can do it now because, well, we're going to be using a glitch to kind of just skip it because it's much safer and faster. But this section is going to be the Pyramid Head chase. What's going to happen is Maria here is going to be chased by Pyramid Head, and we need to protect her. However, we're going to be able to do a nice glitch, which will be much, much safer. It happens after this door. So first things first, I'm going to heal. I want to make sure I'm nice and healthy. If I get too low on health, it will lower my speed. But there's going to be this door down here, and what we're going to do is normally you can't save in boss rooms. However, if I mash the button, I can actually get the prompt, first try by the way, to bug out, and I'll be able to hold It's Too Dark to Read the Map. What this does is it'll prevent Pyramid Head from spawning so I can have a brisk jog through these scary hallways, and Maria won't die. So this way I'm going to be able to run to the very end. Now if you're wondering though, this actually leads to a bit of a problem. I guess not a problem, but just kind of an odd quirk. The game is not going to know what to do because I broke it, so it's going to mess up the game's text. Anyways, enjoy this very sentimental scene. Save anywhere. Name undecided. Forest. Oh no, they killed her. Wait, what was her name again? Oh, that's right. Parking lot. Anyway, parking lot's dead, and we'll now be leaving her for the rest of the game for a while. Can I get a big F in chat for parking lot? She has died. She has passed. Parking lot is no more.
Or poor parking lot.
I mean, she did everything she could. We couldn't get there. So you're wondering what that does? I'm pretty sure the text just kind of scrolls through save locations when you kind of bug the game out like that. So her name becomes parking lot. And it's really funny, and I always love it. That's exclusive to hard mode because you don't do that glitch in other categories. You don't need to. There's no need. On hard mode, you have to do it because Pyramid Head will catch up to you and kill Maria. This way, though, much safer. Speaking of much safer, we're going to take some safety healths here. I put a little bit more time on my estimate just because I, again, wanted to be nice and safe. So ideally, they should all fit in. This is why we have marathon estimates, because sometimes you don't know when your room will randomly black out. All right. So now we're going to be running through the streets for a little bit. These streets are like a 6-minute jog or so. Roughly about that. We're going to be doing a glitch that's going to be kind of a callback to earlier in the game, if you remember that. But there's going to be a lot of game saving happening. So you kind of get to run through the street at nighttime, which is much scarier. Also, nurses are everywhere because I actually don't know why they'd extend outside the hospital, but they do. See? Nurses everywhere. They're really dedicated to her job. They're the, you know, they're working. Anyway, we're now going to make our way back to the other side of town. You might recognize it in a little bit. We have to go through this gate first. But essentially, the whole goal right now is we're trying to get to the park again, where we found parking lot earlier. You remember when we first met her, she was looking over, like, the ocean and, you know, trying to be all romantic. There's actually a key there that we need. We need to get a wrench first. So we're going to be making our way to find a wrench, and then we'll go get that key, and then we'll be able to go all the way to the other side of town, which is why it's such a long running section. I run the light off here because these little guys can poke my feet. And if they poke my feet, well, it's not fast. It's slow because I'm getting damaged, and it kills my momentum. So ideally, I don't want to get poked in the feet. Now, you may notice it's too dark to read the map. I'm doing this glitch again. Why am I doing this glitch again? Well, remember how I mentioned we're going back to the old part of town? Well, in the beginning of the game, I did a glitch to avoid some blood. That blood's still there, and it's still active. So, if I don't do this, it's going to force me to go back to the blood. So ideally, I need to do this in order to, one, despawn all the enemies, which will be mannequins and, you know, the nurses. As well, this is going to allow me to prevent the blood from happening. Because if I run, it's going to be on the, when I take the turn, if during that entire screen, if I end up having not text, I will have to go to the plank. and it'll bug up my game very badly. Normally, you get about here, though, you're good to go, and you can actually do a glitch where you pick up the wrench with your knees. It's actually much faster if you can pick up the wrench with your knees by a surprising amount. You'd be surprised how long it takes James to bend down and pick up a wrench. Like, the animation is shockingly long in comparison to just grabbing it with your knees. See, this is why this is a horror game, because hands are jutting out of this man's knees and putting it in his pockets. Makes sense, though. At least to me. You get used to it when playing these types of games. You get very used to it. See, I have the nurses on my head now. Anyway, we're gonna make our way past the apartments once again, and then we'll be going to the third part, which will be where parking lot once was. So, normally I would, like during most marathons, I'd say this is a good time for donations, but I don't think this one's doing donations. So what we're going to do instead is, I'm still just so surprised. I room blacked out.
Yeah, like that happened to me 3 days ago, I want to say.
Yeah. I'm hoping it has nothing to do with the, because I know in California there's the, what's the word? The curfew now?
Oh, yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's been anything from our power companies about that. That was honestly one of my first thoughts, too.
Yeah, because I was like, are we getting hit by curfew? We don't do anything here. It's just my house. I'm not not going outside. But I guess that does kind of solidify me being on the West Coast, so it's nice. It is West Coast weekend, after all. Although I kept thinking, maybe I should have bought In-N-Out Burger today to kind of truly relish the West Coast thing.
That would be nice.
It would be. I haven't had one in a while.
I had Carl's Jr. today, but I did have a Big Carl, which is like a not as good version of an animal-style double-double, so.
But it's all the motivation of that. Also, fun glitch we get to do. It's kind of similar to other things. When you pick up the wrench, we can save the game, and that will kind of allow me again to run. Ideally, you can get some distance. I got the distance, a little bit of it, so it's nice. All right, by the way, fun fact. If you forget the wrench, let's say for some reason you got to pick up the wrench. I've done this before when I was starting to run this game. You have to run back 2.5 minutes. If you don't use the wrench, or if you forgot the wrench. You can forget the wrench. You can forget to use the wrench. Backtracking in this section is an absolute hell, and nobody wants to do it. It's really bad. Like, immensely. I've done it before, and believe me, it's a literal walk of shame having to go all the way to the end of this, like, run, and then running all the way to the back to the park, and then all the way back. Also, we have some Sound Hole billboards while we're running. It's kind of like the game Desert Bus, but with less bus. And I guess desert. Either way, my favorite one is the one that just says your ad here. I think we see it near the end of this. Your ad. See, there it is. Also, oddly enough, I think the GDQ game platform may be miscorrect. I think it says PS2 and it should be PC. I'm on the PC port of Sound Hole 2. We play on the PC port because it has the game save. Yeah, and that should be good. Yeah, because the PS2 run doesn't use a lot of the glitches, although you can still manipulate the RNG, actually. Yeah, we're on the PC version, which it did come out the same year, if that helps, but yeah, PC. Anyway, time for those really long stairs. These always remind me of the Mario stairs, because I really wish I could just, like, have James immediately zoom down them. Although, fun fact for anyone who doesn't know about this game, or I guess these stairs. These stairs are just, if you're wondering how do they do this, are they looping it, are they, what programming trick do they use? They didn't. Another thing, they didn't? What does that mean? The stairs are just this long. They just programmed really long stairs. Really long stairs. And for anyone wondering as well, this is not emulation. This is a PC port. You can look it up. It is on PC. You can buy PC versions of this game. They exist. For those hardcore Windows XP gamers at the time, I suppose. What was 2001? Windows XP, or is that still Windows 98? I don't actually know. XP was 2003, wasn't it? I thought you can play it on Windows XP, but the moral of the story is this is a legit port. Also, you can actually kind of get bugged out here if you don't have a weapon. So we need the pipe in order to break a wall. And now we get to go down. Here we are. We're going to be doing another skip that's actually exclusive to the PC version, which is, a lot of them are. This is going to be the bug room skip. What we're going to be doing here is something called item duplication. I'm going to pick up the item, and then right when that happens, I save the game. I'm also going to load the game. So what this does is essentially reverts my timer back to where I just picked up the item. This is the only time you're allowed to do this in the game, legally. Don't forget that I blacked out earlier. But I duplicated the key here. So by duplicating this key, I don't need to do the puzzle in that room. Although, I actually I could pull up the answer if I wanted to. I don't have it listed because we don't ever use it, but the bug room does not need to be done. And now we are in the prison. With the prison, we are going... Also, I'm glad that apparently Chad is an expert on Windows 2K. I guess Windows Me?
Windows Millennium Edition. Oh, gosh.
I didn't know that was a thing.
So I had a laptop in like 2000 that came pre-installed with Windows ME, and it was not good.
Like, I'm not gonna lie on my end. What's the word? I used a Macintosh, like an old one of those like rainbow colored ones. My parents bought it when I was really young. And then XP for me afterward. So I didn't really get into Windows until that. Also, for console version, you can actually do an out of bounds. It's exclusive to console version, I think. However, you're going to regret hearing this because it's only exclusive to the HD edition, if I remember correctly. And it also crashes the game, if I remember hearing properly. So, mainly if you want to do glitches, do the game on PC. Also, Chad, did you know Silent 2 has live recording? Zoe, did you know that?
I did not know.
So you can actually hear the sound I made when my room blacked out. I think it's about accurate. Also, I just realized, I hope my Discord stream on your end might be down, so you might not have heard it.
Oh, yeah, no, I absolutely didn't hear it.
Oh, it was just a blood-curdling scream. I was like, wait a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll have a part I can bring back up, I think. That shouldn't have impacted the blackout. I'm glad chat enjoyed it. They got the kick out of it. They can confirm what the noise was. Also, this is a safety route. Technically, you don't need to do this if you're really good to go. But there's an ampule and a first aid kit in here. I grabbed both of those because I need a lot of health later. If the run goes south, I need to be safer. So now comes the part of the run where I get to drop down the holes. There's gonna be a lot of them. James just kind of wildly jumps because I guess that's the mood. Oh god, I keep whiffing these rooms. There we go. Alright, there we go. I thought I was like 2 rooms ahead of what I actually was. And now we're in the waiting elevator. So I'm going to be picking up everything, and also I'm going to be reloading my guns. It's very nice to have. It's good to have, and that's the last of the ammo routing. I don't need any more ammo. So, also, now that I know I'm on the RNG seed I mentioned, one, I'm going to alt-tab. So it's going to get a little bit quiet while I just fix this. Don't worry about it. It's just elevator. I just want to get the screen back up for Zoe so they can see it.
Thank you.
There you go. Okay. You should be able to see it. Also, time for me to post on Twitter because this is what I do during this section. Let's see. Can I at GDQ in time? I'll send them a self. I'll send them a... Send them this. Let's see if I can at GDQ on Twitter before I get down the elevator. Oh my god, what's up? Got it! Yay! And now I'll wait for GDQ to find my tweet. Okay, so if you're wondering, that's really the only waiting section of the game, so... we're going to be getting some special routing. We don't do this in any percent, but you do this in normal and hard mode. We're going to go to Pyramid Head's house, and we're going to steal his great knife. It's ours now. He doesn't get it anymore. He won't have it for the rest of the game. He shouldn't have left it lying around. James is hunting for great knife. You have to understand, The game was never about James's wife. You have to understand, it's not my great wife, it's my great knife. According to this game. But going into that, the great knife is actually going to be a really good weapon because it hits like a tank, although it also moves like a tank, so it's really slow. Also, side down. Remember what I said? Guess what? First try. If you're wondering, this is entirely randomized on hard mode. It's only randomized on hard mode. I know the answer preemptively. Also, look, parking lot's alive. She wants to hang out with us again. I can't believe she survived that. Parking lot has made her big return, I suppose. Good for you, parking lot. Formatting. The game can bug out if you pick up things the wrong way. Those aren't pliers, that's formatting. Yeah. James has a wife? Yeah, that's how the game opens. And yes, the great knife is always grabbable. If you just go there and find it, you can always grab the knife. It's available in all versions of the game. It's always there. You just need to know where to look. Also, James uses pliers to cut wires instead of using the great knife, which you think would be better. But I guess not. Yeah, we're on a mission to find parking lot again, so we need to find her. She's important. For a lot of people, by the way, the labyrinth is one of the hardest levels. If you go the wrong way, you run into Pyramid Head and he stabs you. And it's really dangerous. So, moral of the story, don't go the wrong way. Now, this guy's the most annoying guy in the game because he's blocking my path. So I'm going to shoot him until he falls. Once he falls, hopefully he runs out of the way. He didn't run out. Get out of the way. Thank you. Alright, and that was the only thing I need those bullets for. I don't need any more bullets anymore. That was just to get him out of the way. We can use them on a safety thing to get another guy out of the way, but we're not going to hopefully worry about that. We'll see. He is in the way. Alright, he's out of the way. We're good. Alright, now I have an empty gun. Here we are. So, we're now going to be hitting one of the hardest bosses in the game, normally. If you do this on console, he's probably one of the toughest because his range is really, really big. However, this is PC. It's too dark to fight this boss. It's too dark to do anything in this game, really, when you think about it. So we're going to entirely ignore him. That was, we'd seen a... that was Abstract Daddy. Also, the answer to this, like I mentioned, is 6. Remember? This one. It will be correct. Abstract Daddy is a really big boss, and it's supposed to be Angela's boss fight, but you can just run past him, and it's really, really funny, because you don't have to do it. Also, look at that. First try. It's a 1 in 6 chance I can get this. Not that bad of RNG, but, you know. We got it, because I already knew what it was. And that being said, like I mentioned at the beginning of the run, the last thing that we have to do is a thing called luck, which will be the word on a special briefcase. Anyway, now that we've done all that, we can actually find a parking lot and see what has happened to our parking lot. So, what do you think happened to parking lot?
I think she's fine.
You think she's
on
fine?
vacation. Yeah.
We'll see. She's in this room.
So.
She's chilling here.
Maybe she took a vacation to this room then.
She's dead.
Oh.
Parking lot died once again.
I can't believe I was wrong.
She does have a big habit of doing that, but poor parking lot. She's dead again. More F's for parking lot. That's why I have the sad music.
She was 1 day away from retirement.
Exactly. All right, now comes probably... Actually, this is what the biggest change in this category has been. This is new routing done by me, and it's really stupid. So I do a meme category this game. Oh my god, I didn't do the Infinity Cord. No, I did. All right. I do a meme category this game called Great Knife Only, where I mod the Great Knife in to be in the game, and you can only use the weapon, so you have to go really slow. I found out you can actually kill Eddie immensely fast if you use the Great Knife. I thought it was risky in hard mode, but it's so quick. So, we're going to be doing a boss fight here with Eddie, and I'll be getting my Great Knife ready. Okay, so I'm going to aim the knife at him. He's going to either punch me or do a loop. He'll walk away. He's going to start walking back in a moment here. I'm going to prep the knife and bounce it on his head. Alright, he'll do that again. Alright, don't worry. He walks that off. He'll be okay. So, now we get to walk back, and time for phase 2. Phase 2 is kind of similar. I'm going to hide behind this meat. And then I'm going to swing at Eddie while he beats his meat. And doing this is going to do immense amounts of damage. Ideally, him hitting the meat is going to prevent him from hitting me, which is very nice. One more hit and I kill him. Perfect fight! Wow, I wasn't getting that very much. Why is he attacking us? Oh, apparently we made fun of him, so he doesn't like us anymore.
Eddie? Eddie? I killed
a human being.
I always love how James is somehow surprised that Eddie dies from that. Anyway, now you can see why we use the Great Knife. In the past, you had to pump Eddie full of shotgun rounds, which takes a long time and you eat a lot of damage. However, this way, it is much safer and much faster. The only downside is if Eddie doesn't go for that final punch, what Eddie will do is he will run around the room, because at a certain point he does become afraid of you, as I learned from a friend known as Fungo. He is a Silent Hill expert, and he taught me that if Eddie gets low enough on health, he'll actually run away. And it's actually not the weirdest way to take out Eddie. I mentioned earlier that I have a plank-only category I do of this game, and I can do Eddie entirely plank-only. It's a combination of breaking his spine with a plank and then hitting him 250 times with the plank.
Oh, okay. So you're just bouncing normally. Sweet.
If you're wondering what happens, is I glitch him into a particular spot, and then I beat him for about 5 minutes. And then just him getting hit with a plank, losing blood, and then making Eddie noises, which is cursed. So, there's that.
It's because he's
also, the boat's really easy on PC. You just kind of go upright and then hold up. It is kind of one of the other benefits of doing this on PC. It's really nice. Anyway, time for the hotel, which is probably one of my favorite sections in any game ever made. Before that, though, we have to grab this outside. A lot of people miss that, and then they wonder, where do I go? And then, there it is. So, we're now going to be entering the late game. So, the late game is actually really, really neat. For you veterans of the series, for you big fans of Silent Hill 2, you might remember there is a section in the game where James needs to get rid of all his stuff. And good thing we saved.
Cool.
Oh, fixed itself, kind of. Wait, can I?
Yeah, I just launched it right now.
One moment, let me do something really quick.
I just want to say you stopped mid-sentence, and my first thought was, oh no, did the power go out again?
No, all right, there we go. Hopefully that works. Like I mentioned, this game can kind of buggy. The PC port's a buggy port, that's why we use it. Anyway, now we're back in action. I'm gonna do a glitch right now. I'm going to break the game and go out of bounds. I go up these stairs, move the loading trigger, and then I'm going to get my little feet out, and then well, not first try. We are going to be going right here.
You just can't get
and
on like PC.
I fall through the crack, I fall right here, and I'm going to be able to run out of bounds. So, why is being out of bounds cool? What does this do? Well, I mentioned there's a point in the game where we're going to be able to get rid of all our stuff so we can go into this weird kind of bar. So, with this, I'm actually able to use the out of bounds to run to that bar location. Now, if you're wondering, how can you do this? How does he do it? Well, rooms in this game aren't programmed the way they seem. This door doesn't lead to the room next to it. What this door leads to is a very far away room where this is set. All the models are in the same sphere of gaming. They're just really far away to each other. So what happens is James teleports to the catacomb. Deleting. Oh no, it's deleting. Shipping dock. Hopefully the game will persist. However, the game, if it does have issues, we can reload it. That's the upside. There we go. All right. So there we go. Apparently there's crosstalk, by the way, from what I'm reading in chat. Or there may have been. Oh god, I got slapped. I don't know if, Zoe, do you hear that or no?
I do not. I'm making sure it's not coming from me.
I think it may be the people testing Left 4 Dead 2. Just to let tech know if they don't want to know that. Cool.
Okay, it's fixed. Sorry, chat.
I started to bring it up because I'm reading like, wait a minute. I hope it's okay. Anyway, most of this section was just grabbing light bulbs because that was the most necessary thing here. We also needed to grab a princess tablet thing. It's a puzzle that you need to know Disney princess lore, but the original stories. I have a way of just remembering it. Actually, I do remember it, weirdly enough. Anyway, the glitch that we're going to have here that we did allows me to kind of skip that whole section. What we're going to be doing now is kind of just gathering the rest of the resources and then making our way towards the finale. The finale is definitely one of my favorite parts and is going to be possibly impressive depending on if you have played this game or not. Here we go. We're gonna run back, and we are going to be avoiding the abstract daddies here. So, we just kind of nudge them forward. Thank you. Sometimes they do that. Your speed's fast enough to push them back, and then you're good to go. And then afterward, the puzzle, like I mentioned, is going to be luck. If I get this right, that means I predicted all my RNG, and we are good to go. Luck. See, I don't think I predicted. Clearly, I just got lucky. That's how I predicted how many values? 5. Very lucky. Overall, though, since we've done everything now, RNG manipulation over non-RNG manipulation saves a buttload of time. It's like, I think, a minute, give or take. Maybe more? Assuming one gets perfect RNG, the other doesn't. Either way, we do a little glitch here and move closer to the door, and now we're on the finale. We got the key, we got the videotape, we have everything. Parking lot? Oh, parking lot will be back, don't you worry. He always finds your way back. Weirdly enough, if you're ever wondering what ending do we normally get for this game, on hard mode, I always get parking lot ending, and I don't know why.
I mean, parking lot ending is a good ending.
Apparently. All right, here we are. Also, the big twist of the game is that VHS is once a viable medium for entertainment. Also, since we did promise this, I'll be making a save here. I have a lot of saves, by the way. Every time I get a PB, I save the game for memories. Also, these saves are barely anything, like 8 kilobytes, so we're good to go. All right. So now we are on the finale. This finale is going to be the hard mode finale. It'll be good, and we'll be able to see a few things here. And also, the ending for the main 3, which is Maria, Leave, or In Water, those don't matter. They make no bearings on the run because nothing changes in between them. They're just kind of... they're different moods, and they affect the story differently. But they don't affect gameplay whatsoever, so there's no need to differentiate them. All right. So, there's a lot of health right here. I wonder what could be coming up. Maybe it's parking lot. Maybe she's being prepared this time. Normally, I'd pick up all that ammo in the past. We don't need it anymore because of new strats. Well, I guess new strats is the way to word it. We're currently using an older strat that I believe was found by UFO Techie. He is a veteran of the Silent Hill series. Was that found by him or Super Gamer, I think? I want to say it was him. Either way, it's going to be a really cool strat, and it is going to be for the usual hardest fight of the game. The hardest fight of the game is going to be the final boss, oddly enough, and it is very, very, very tough. It's actually the whole reason why I mentioned runs of this game aren't good until the ending. Believe me, you're not done until you're done. So, I bet you're wondering, what happened to parking lot?
What happened to her?
Well, I have to wonder. Well, where could she be? Wait, James is looking at something. What's he looking at? Hey, look, it's parking lot. She's back.
Oh, good for her.
She's in that Dead by Daylight machine.
It's a predicament, but she's alive.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
No.
All right, parking lot's dead again. Big F for parking lot. You can't live forever. Anyway,
she can't catch a break.
really quick, I'm going to be doing a very fun glitch here. You see I have the great knife out. I paused the game. Why am I pausing the game? Because I've been playing on something called directional, which is 2D controls. I can turn on a dime, as you can see. However, we need to swap into tank mode, tank controls. Why am I doing this? Well, watch. I'm going to aim at this one, and then I'm going to just win. Hopefully. Oh, we're good. As long as I attack. All right, cool. We got it. I was like, are you going to land? We landed. So, the strategy here is that the Great Knife will bounce off the wall on tank controls, and it'll allow me to infinitely stun them. And doing this, it's really hard to set it up because of how risky and how much damage these guys deal. However, you can just absolutely crush them, and it's a very, very safe fight normally to get the good position. Now, but you're wondering, oh, are you gonna be in tank controls for the rest of the game? Yes, there's actually some good glitches we can do coming up in the finale here. Anyway, that's the dual pyramid head with the great knife. You can see why we grabbed it. No matter how much time that we need. Oh no, demonic. I'm reading that one. That only happens on the HD version, because the HD version ruined things. The original versions of the game, it's all well programmed, because, you know, they took time to care about it. Anyway, now it is time for the sad, sad ending. I actually saved the game through this.
Mary?
Because I'll bump into the wall at the very ending. But yeah, essentially, you use a great knife, you bounce it in between them, you infinitely stun them while dealing max damage. So it does quite a lot, and it's very, very good.
Mary,
What are you saying? All right.
I don't deserve
So, tank controls are still going to be good for us because we're going to be doing a strafe here. And the strafe is going to allow me to kind of run faster. Watch, normally you kind of get stopped on these stairs. However, if I strafe, we ignore that. Being a ragtime, like, you know, barbershop quartet guy just kind of dancing off the screen apparently is faster than actually running. So we're going to be doing that. I don't know why he moves like, that's all, folks, but I guess it is the end of the run. It was fitting. All right, and let's see what ending we got. We probably got Maria. Yep, we always get Maria. So, the final boss is actually not parking lot. It's your great wife. Now, this fight is very, very difficult. Reason why is because she has multiple attacks she can do. She'll try to swing at you, and she'll also try to grab you. She'll also throw flies or moths at you. What I need to be doing here is I need to be healing, and then I will be facing this bed. If I face the bed, she won't go for a grab. Ideally, grabbing is very, very bad for me. Once it kind of gets to the other half of the circle, what I will be doing is I'll be going for a swing. Right now, we're actually getting really good attack RNG. I'm just getting kind of rough angle. So, if you're wondering, why is this boss so hard? Well, on normal mode, it's not a big issue because she's not very fast. Oh wow, she actually hit me. On hard mode, she is very fast. She has upped her speed by quite a lot. So I kind of need to just kind of keep the balance of trying to slap her. Also, yes, the keys right now are me. You're hearing a lot of keys. I have to do this on keyboard for the ending, just because it is much more efficient on tank controls. Good hit. And we turn around. So you kind of see the whole thing. You want to keep moving. Those flies will kind of hemorrhage you if you don't. I'll try to swap in between the two for these. There we go. Alright, come on. By the way, if you're wondering why is my estimate high, this is why my estimate's high. This boss is incredibly mean. Oh my god. Thank you. Nice. And you kind of see why we face the bed. She can't grab you if you're facing the bed. You're cozy. You're too cozy. See, if you're not cozy, it doesn't work. Thank you. That's why comfort is king, as they say. Oh, don't slap me like that, please. Come on. Nope. Bad spot. That should work. Nope. Oh, yeah, they get hit. All right, don't grab me, though. Don't grab me. Yep, there's the grab. This is your dead wife. She's angry because you were falling in love with parking lot. And she has a lot of health. All right. A few more ought to do it, I think. We're actually getting close. This is also why people don't like running hard mode, if you're wondering. If you're wondering, oh, what's the category like? Is it easy? People don't like running hard mode because of, All right. Now, the best way to end a run like this, I think it was with the great swing. We'll call time when the great knife connects.
James.
And bam. What is parking lot? Parking lot is love. She's your love
Parking
interest
lot
now.
is love.
Exactly.
We need that on a t-shirt.
47:53. This actually isn't a bad time in all honesty. My world record currently is like 45, I think, 04, 45. It's a low 45, I think. I don't know the exact one. It's a lowish 45. This is a really good run, all things considered. Even with the blackout, even with the, you know, the safety, it's not bad.
Yeah, it was good. It was entertaining.
Yeah.
Doggo?
Oh, we will do that. We'll do that.
Awesome.
Before that, though, I just want to say, if you've enjoyed the run so far, I've been Ecdysis. I do a lot of spooky games, or 92 of them. I like doing horror games. I want to get big 100 soon. So if you like that, go check me out sometime on, I don't know, Twitch, Twitter. It's usually the same name. You'll find a should all work. Anyway, let's go to that ending.
I don't think I could even name 92 different horror games off the top of my head.
I use the word horror adjacent too, because some people get really like strict on what they consider. I'm really open about what I consider it. Anyway,
It's got spooky elements. I think it counts. So
I agree. It's time. Also, one moment. Let me just do this really quick. You have to swap that back every time. Okay. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a blue door here, and we picked a special key. What's behind it? All right, let's go.
love that ending so much.
It's not over yet. But yeah, for those of you who don't know about this game, there's a special ending that happens right at the end. So it's like how James is like ripped. Oh, the parking lot's about too. Also, the boss we didn't fight. Of everything that we missed. A lot of Eddie beating. We never did get that pizza, by the way, didn't we? Oh, there it is. And there you have it. That is the dog ending add-on for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That ending is so hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's definitely one of the more fun ones, and a lot of people don't know it exists. It does. It counts as an actual ending. You can't actually get the ending until you beat the game at least once, though, as a heads up. So you can't find that the first time. You have to. It's an incentive to replay through the game. You find it in the doghouse, and it all works, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Easter eggs like that.
Anyway, I've been Ecdycis. I want to say thank you again for having me. It's been a great time being here, and I'm sure there's more good spooky stuff coming on the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I let you go, though, speaking of good spooky stuff, you've recently joined us as a hotfix showrunner, right?
I have.
You want to talk about your show?
Yeah, so I'm actually a GDQ hotfix showrunner. I run a show called Speedrunners from the Crypt, which is actually all about horror games, and we'll be actually having an episode next Wednesday, or I guess this, whatever the upcoming Wednesday is, then. So I don't want to say thank you for having me here. I'm very, very happy to be a part of a lot of West Coast stuff. So yeah, hope you have a good rest of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again. And happy to have you aboard as a fellow showrunner. We are going to go get set up for Left 4 Dead 2 run by Waifu. So hang tight throughout this break, chat. We'll be back.